Hi everyone, it's Peter from PS Sound, and this is now the third day into this Golf GTI Mark 8 project. And you're gonna see from the upcoming little time lapse how I got to this stage in half a day. Today there's still more to do, but then check out the time lapse and then I get back to you after. as you could see, there was a fair amount of bonding, sanding. It's quite a labor-intensive job, and that's why people think it can be done in a day. If you do it properly, it takes at least 2 days hard work, long days, but I always say rather 3 days for a pair of pillars. To the time you make the rings, you mount them, you protect the car, you make sure everything is protected. Then whichever technique you use, if you like stretchy fabric, resin, but then you have to build up the layers from fiberglass, I do this. And if you go to description, then you can check a few other videos where I show some other A-pillar construction, how I build it up from wood, fiber fill, milkshake and all those things to make it rigid. But what's very important, as I mentioned that yesterday as well, that these pillars will have crazy amount of flex, and I will pull my hair out when I have to put these back, I'm sure about that. But what I don't want, that the build would separate from the pillar. So that's why I drilled many holes where the fiber fill goes through the holes. Over here it went through so well that I could just push it away on the surface to get better bond, but you can see it's all bonded through. So to the time I strengthen it from the back as well with milkshake, it won't have a chance to separate. So this is ready for the milkshake. The front surface is ready for trimming, nice and smooth. There are little imperfections here and there. I may correct that when the other side is done as well. But it's also time for lunch, so I'm going to have lunch and lunch, yeah, 3:30. So I'm gonna sand this as well, and same thing, you can see it's bonded through nicely everywhere. So it's not just built onto the surface like I see so many installers doing that. They just trim it, let it be, happy days. It's just so bad. It doesn't take that much really to make many holes and then bond everything through, but you can see even here where I bonded the wooden pieces together, the fiber fill goes between and that holds everything together. So when you play with the little sticks at the beginning, you can use hot glue, super glue, whatever you want. That's not the structural part, that just holds everything in place, and then the fiber fill and milkshake from the back is going to hold it rigidly. So let's crack on. As you could see, now the back is milkshaked, it's all bonded together now, nice and rigid. Now I will add deadening to the back as well, because there's enough room for it, and deadening never hurts. But you can see that I also covered the front with the milkshake. It's always advised to use resin as a final coat before trimming, because you will have better adhesion, less chance that the trimming would pull up. But in this case, because these pillars were reused from the previous build, I couldn't get rid of all the adhesive left over, all the residue and crap, especially on the top, because from this point on I built onto it, so it overlays it, but over there it would show through the trimming. So I covered the whole lot. I will have to sand it back tomorrow to make it nice and smooth, and then it will be ready for the trim. As you could see, I also made rings, new rings. So this was the previous, really thin, but I just added 2 mil overall diameter, and the Steg driver requires 6 mil less for cutout. So this way, this is way beefier, more substantial to board through with countersunk boards first into the OEM holes in the door with nuts and washers at the back, and then we can fit inserts in this for mounting the driver. And yes, this is not MDF, this is a one-piece 25 mil birch ply. This is a million times way more rigid than this thing. Maybe I should do a test one day just to see how much pressure we can apply on this before it breaks, and on birch ply. Well, many people have proven it, you know, birch is way more rigid and it doesn't soak water in like MDF does. So that's for tomorrow. Eddie will be back, he will possibly deal with that, whereas I will crack on with the A-pillars because I want to see them in by lunch. So hopefully I can tune tomorrow afternoon, but we will see how we go. But this is it for today, guys. Hopefully you liked today's little update as well. Little update, well, it is, what time is it? There you go, 6:40. I have to pack up, go home, dinner, usual things, and I can start editing this footage for you. Now you can see how much work it is to do daily updates, but I want people to understand what goes into a build to make it sound good, even if it's a simple daily system. You could see many other projects we've had. You can also go to the playlist, and then there are separate projects with multiple videos showing the whole build process. But yeah, this week is a bit tight, but hopefully you like it, and you can pick up many ideas in these videos, and you can also understand what we do takes longer than other shops do because of this. So hopefully you liked it. If you watch this video for the first time or this channel for the first time, please subscribe to it. Then you can see many other great videos in the future. And also check out Patreon. I just summed up the new weekly topics this morning and I covered many questions the guys shared over there. We have weekly topics over there. We have behind the scene content, in-depth proper stuff that people can learn from a lot. So check out, it's also in the description. And tomorrow we may bring a video, well, I definitely bring a video on this Golf, but we may actually have some sound coming out of it. Fingers crossed, we will see. This is it for today, guys. Hopefully you liked it. Feel free to share it, comment, do the usual things, and see you tomorrow. Take care.